All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Pennsbury Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Reggie Meadows. I'm the campus principal of Pennsbury High School. I'd like to open up with just acknowledging some of the leaders from district administration that I believe are in here. First of all, Dr. Thomas Smith, who is our district superintendent. And he's not in here. All right. Ms. Linda Palsky, school board director. And Dr. Joanna Steer, school board president. I think they're still chatting, but they will be in here. They will be in here eventually. I'd like to officially welcome our 2025 Hall of Fame inductees. Welcome home. We're glad to celebrate you and celebrate your accomplishments. While East, or as some of you referred it to as the high school, may not have physically changed much since you graduated, I want to let you know that PHS is still maintaining its excellence in academics, athletics, and activities. Students that are in attendance today or that are watching online, I would like you to take time to actively listen to these distinguished alumni and listen to their stories. Hopefully, you will be inspired to follow in their footsteps one day. I'd like to bring up Mr. Ryan Staub, Lead Assistant Principal of PHS East, to continue this program. Also, would just like to thank and acknowledge him for the excellent work that he has done putting this together. So thank you for your attendance, and turn it over to Mr. Staub.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Meadows. As chairman of the 2025, your work and contributions to society are nothing short of incredible and serve as an inspiration to our students sitting before you and in their classrooms on live stream. But before we begin, I would like to thank a few individuals who made today possible. First, Becky Baldinger, East Secretary, who put her heart and soul into this program. Thank you, Becky. Tony Schwartz, East Secretary, who worked on the night event, and we thank her for all of her efforts. Harry Stymus and Dan Mahoney for audio and visual support. Mary Ann Daly, who worked with our student presenters. And finally, our students sitting up here today. Thank you for being part of our program. Up first is Bobby Borgman and Dante Ciola, who will be introducing Skip Rickert.
Today, we celebrate Paul Skip Rickert, class of 1972, a man whose career has hit more high notes than most of us could dream of. After earning his bachelor's degree from the University of California, San Diego, Skip took the world stage, literally. As a touring music industry executive and manager, his client list reads like a rock and roll Hall of Fame lineup. Ozzy Osbourne, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Ice Cube, Guns N' Roses, the Backstreet Boys, Barbra Streisand, John Denver, Diana Ross, and currently, Santana. Skip has created and led world-class touring campaigns, from concept and design to execution, in arenas and stadiums across North and South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa.
He's also shared his expertise as a university lecturer, teaching leadership and the business of music to the next generation of industry leaders. His creative talents extend beyond the stage. He's produced music videos, earning a Latin Grammy nomination, and even made the ASCAP BMI songwriter roster, with one of his songs climbing to the number 23 on Billboard's mainstream rock airplay, and number 5 on the US Billboard 200. From managing global tours to inspiring future artists, Paul Skip Rickert, and his legacy continues to rock stages around the world. It is our honor to introduce High School Hall of Fame.
Well, I don't know how to follow that. First thing I'm going to say is that I would not be here if it weren't for the love and support of another 19 Rickard sitting right here. Would you stand up, Barb? It's probably difficult for some of you students to relate to this old guy standing up here, just listening to what my presenters had to say. But rest assured, I was you. And actually, I still am you. Because in my mind, as I walked through these halls this morning, I had flashbacks of being sent to the principal's office and, man, trying to get to the nurses so I could feign a fever. Oh my goodness, it was like PTSD. And I loved it here. I loved being a student here. I love the people I've met here. There are quite a few sitting in these rows right in front of me, in 1972 grads that came here to support me. And the reason for that is because we came from the same cradle of, I wanted to say love. That first thing came to my mind because the students, the administrators, and the teachers that you have here are dedicated to your well-being, emotional and physical. They care for you. And I'd just like to recognize them for taking care of me and taking care of you. Here's for your teachers and administrators. I also want to say that I think everyone in my class, and probably all the classes that we have, are as deserving as I to be standing here. I just happen to have been nominated, and a lot of support was shown my way, and I'm very grateful and fortunate for that. But there are so many of my classmates that are as deserving, some that we don't know how difficult their lives have been and what it takes for them to get out of bed every single day in order to put one foot in front of the other, to raise their children, work 2 jobs, or do whatever they need to do in order to survive. So I'm very fortunate and lucky to be here, but I want to recognize all the trials that everyone has in each day that we have to just live our lives. And one more thing about surviving. We can go through life, as you could tell by what they said about me. I'm not just a survivor. I'm a kinetic liver. I like living life. I like looking around the corner, looking over the hedge. I really have lived my life without any kind of fear. And I'd like you students also to try to think about the universe is only 6 inches wide. It's only this wide. And if you put fear in there, and you think it's a limitation, that's you. You can do anything you want. I'm a testament to that. I had no idea I would travel the globe with rock and roll bands for 45 years. Who does that? A PHS grad did that. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of my classmates. I'm proud of my teachers. I actually have to give a tip of the hat to an old teacher that down at Medill Bear, where I sat behind this really cute girl in a geometry class, and a guy's name was Dale Saxman, and he told me, he moved me to the other side of the room because I was sitting behind my wife of 40 plus years, and she wouldn't give me one answer to one darn test, not once. She gave me the elbow the whole darn time until Dale Saxman moved me to the center of the room. But she gave me a lot more than the answers I needed. She's actually helped me through my life. And again, Barb, thank you so much. And thank you, Pennsbury. I'm proud to be here, and I'm proud of us.
Next up is Sarah Awadala and Charlie Patricia Sullivan.
Our honor to recognize Dr. Patricia Lee Zadnik Sullivan, class of 2004, a shining example of dedication, intellect, and compassion in the field of medicine. Dr. Sullivan graduated magna cum laude from Harvard University, then went on to earn her medical degree from the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, one of the most prestigious institutions in the world. She completed her neurosurgery residency at the University of Pennsylvania, where her excellence as both a surgeon and educator earned her the Resident Teaching Award.
Dr. Sullivan constructive spine and spinal chordoma, and now serves as an assistant. Today, she is the Director of Spinal Surgery Oncology at Brown University Health, leading groundbreaking work in complex spine surgery and cancer care. Dr. Sullivan's career not only reflects her brilliance as a surgeon, but her unwavering commitment to advancing medicine and mentoring the next generation of physicians. It is our honor to introduce Dr. Patty Sullivan, class of 2004, into the Pennsbury High School Hall of Fame.
I know, so thank you for that wonderful introduction. It's funny because my family's in the front row, and I'm sure they're thinking like, where's the stories about her trying to make her cousins laugh with practical jokes? Because my family knows the real me. That introduction makes me sound pretty fancy, but I'm just a normal girl from Levittown. I grew up not far from here. My family, like I said, knows me, knows the true me, the one who worked at Parkway Pizza when I was in high school, probably started a little young to follow my siblings and follow their lead. There's really nothing all that special about me. I think that being in the environment that I was in, being here at Pennsbury, really allowed me to pursue a lot of different talents. And I just want to really harp on it. It sounds really fancy, right, all the things that are on my CV, but I started here. And everything that I needed to learn, I started by learning it here. So the organizers asked us to talk about our time at Pennsbury. And when I reflected on it, for me, the most formative memories were the clubs and extracurriculars. So I was a pretty grade A nerd, like just a solid, happy nerd, and I loved volunteering. And for me, it was just very grounding. I actually started working with Habitat for Humanity. I was part of the National Honor Society. I don't know if the volunteer requirement's still a thing, but it was nice because I would enroll other students to come. We did roofing, we were building houses, we were working with people in the community, and that was just something that was very genuinely helpful to me. It kind of centered my experience and centered my goals. Then I started sort of working with the Foreign Language Club, got my parking spot as president, so I know that you guys are getting a whole new school with more parking spots, but that was clutch. And I used to run the Present Drive, dropping gifts off for St. Vincent's. I'm not sure if that's still an active volunteer opportunity, but I highly recommend it. It was really phenomenal. So it might seem like building houses and wrapping gifts are a far cry from the glamorous life of neurosurgeons. On TV, it's usually a power-hungry, egotistical, handsome man who is just stomping around the hospital demanding, like, I need to go to the OR now. But medicine is really a career in service. I don't know if that's really portrayed in, I guess The Pit kind of did a good job kind of showing how a lot of doctors, it's very grounded in community service and service to others. Patients will come into my office in pain, and they're scared, and they're vulnerable. I work at a level 1 trauma center. A lot of people think Rhode Island's such a small state, but we're actually the only trauma center for the entire state. So we see everyone from our community. And I usually only have a few minutes to convince a family to trust me in one of the worst moments of their life. And that type of grounding, the belief in service, the belief in volunteering, the things that I learned here are what allow me to connect, I think, with my patients. And even though I serve a different community, I always think about my community here. When I was a resident at Penn, I saw classmates, families who were going through terrible moments. And it was an honor to kind of serve my community and be of service to the people that helped me get where I went. Kindness to others and service to others is the driving force in my life. My accomplishments and titles are great, but it's what drives me every day. It's how I wake up and how I can help. It probably sounds cringe, but I'm old now, and so I'm probably just cringe by default, so it's totally fine. I also want to mention to everyone here, just because I have a bunch of students, there has been a ton of failure in my life. I think that when we attend assemblies like this, it's very easy to talk about the outcomes of the hard work, but I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about my failures. After Pennsbury, I was very fortunate to get into Harvard. When I got there, I was actually in the top 5% of my class, which again, sorry, humble brag, but I feel like I'm in good company, right? That's why we're here. Pennsbury taught me self-directed learning. And when I got to Harvard, I was so afraid that the private school kids were going to just blow me away. But I think that I was so used to large class sizes and a lot of different options, and again, that self-directed learning that allowed me to succeed. So I was feeling really good, riding high. And then when I applied to medical school, my MCAT score was a lot lower than I'd hoped. And I had an advisor sit me down and say, you might not get into medical school. And I was like, what? Oh my God. I did, thankfully, but there was a period of time where I was really doubting myself and really questioning myself, and interviews were tough because I had to talk very openly about my strengths and weaknesses. When I finally did get accepted to a medical school, Harvard Med School rejected me, so it was hard to look at the campus while I was on the campus of the school that rejected me, and I thought, well, nice try. When I did get into Hopkins within a month of my rejection at Harvard, I was accepted on my way to being a doctor. But then in medical school, I didn't score as highly on some of the tests that I really needed to. Again, I felt like a failure. I was really honest with myself and took a 2-year research fellowship. My grandmother, who's in the front row, was very afraid I was dropping out of medical school, which I was not. I had a plan. And in those years, I actually met my mentor and my current boss, who recruited me to my current job. So it was a very fortuitous experience that was born out of kind of what I perceived as failure. I also met my husband, who I adore, who is the love of my life, who is not here because he's home wrestling our toddler, probably convincing him to take a nap right now. When I did get into residency, I loved it, but it was hard, and I struggled. It's hard work taking care of sick people. It's working in a dynamic team when you're exhausted. And that's when I really learned how to take feedback, and I think feedback gets a really bad rap. Some feedback is useless, but when you're in the operating room and someone's giving you feedback, it's kind of make it or break it. You could really hurt somebody. So I learned how to adapt, and I wish that's a skill that I would have learned earlier. I think that a lot of people are very afraid of failure and very afraid of hearing about their weaknesses or hearing about things they can improve. And I just hope that by me saying this and seeing what I've accomplished, it's okay to fail. It's okay when someone tells you you're not doing a good job. If you can try and let your emotions down and just try and hear what they're trying to say to help you, it can make you better. It took me until I was well into my 30s, and that's embarrassing. But maybe you can do better than me. I don't want to talk your ears off. I just want to leave you with a parting thought. Be kind, be of service, and don't be afraid of failing. Good, honest feedback that comes from people you trust will help you grow. Try and be one of the people who gives good feedback. And when I say be kind, also try to be kind to yourself. Inside of your own head is where you're going to have either your best friend or your worst enemy. So try to be good to yourself. And in those moments of failure or struggle, don't be the voice that's pushing you down. Be the voice that's bringing you up. This school is really full of incredible opportunities and will absolutely prepare you for what lies ahead. The world needs neurosurgeons, so if anybody's interested, let me know, and go Birds.
Thank you. Our next student presenters are Ben Goldstein and Jess Naumanko, who will be presenting Kathy Romano.
It's a pleasure. A powerhouse voice in Philadelphia media and a champion for her community. Kathy is the host of The Kathy Romano Show on B101 and has spent over 2 decades as the beloved female voice of the Preston and Steve Show, contributing to the program's 2021 induction into the Radio Hall of Fame. She's also the creator, producer, and host of Her Story, which aired on 93.3 WMMR and 95.7 Ben FM, and the host of Roman with Romano, featured on Eagles pre- and post-game live. Her on-camera talents extend beyond radio. She served as the Philadelphia 76ers in-arena host for 4 seasons and even reported traffic for NBC 10.
Kathy's creativity does not stop at the mic. She launched her own jewelry line, the Kathy Romano Collection, where she serves as designer. Her dedication to giving back is equally as impressive. She founded the Fresh Smiles Foundation, helping children stay engaged in organized activities, and has served on the boards of the M. Night Shyamalan Foundation's Shamaween event at the Philadelphia Police Foundation. For her professional success and charitable work, she was named one of the Philadelphia Business Journal's 40 Under 40 honorees. Kathy Romano embodies energy, generosity, and drive, a true inspiration on air, on screen, and in her community. It is our honor to introduce Kathy Romano, class of 1996, to the Pennsbury High School Hall of Fame. Kathy cannot be with us today, but she did send in a video.
Hi, I'm Kathy Romano from the Kathy Romano Show on B101, formerly of the Preston and Steve Show, and I am so completely honored to be inducted into the Pennsbury High School Hall of Fame. Walking these halls here at Pennsbury is really what shaped who I am today. The friends that I made, that I'm still friends with today, the teachers and the staff that supported me. In fact, it was a teacher at Pennsbury High School that piqued my interest in the entertainment industry. I was given the opportunity to be part of the television station in 11th and 12th grade, and I knew from that point on that I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. So since high school, I've been in television and radio for over 2 decades. But what I want you to know is that it wasn't handed to me. It started here at Pennsbury with the teachers and the mentors that believed in me, the friends that supported me, and the opportunities that I took even when they were scary. And even today, I just recently took an opportunity that was terrifying to me. I was let go of my job after 20 years, and then I was offered the opportunity to create my own show and do my own radio show. And even though I had been in the industry for years and years, it terrified me to do this on my own. But I took that opportunity, and here I am today with my own show, The Kathy Romano Show, and it's absolutely incredible. So what I want you to take away from this is pay attention to what makes you come alive. Find something that you love to do. Find the teachers and the mentors that see something in you, and hold on to those friendships, the friends that support you through it all. And when an opportunity comes to you, if it's a little scary, like mine just was, take the chance, because in the end, you're probably not going to fail. Your time at Pennsbury is preparing you for something amazing. Thank you so much for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. This is truly an honor. I am so sorry that I can't be there with you today, but I am so incredibly happy and honored to be inducted into the Pennsbury High School Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next student presenters are Ishan Carlo and Emily Monet, who will be introducing Dr. Bruce Hitchner.
Hitchner, class of 1969, a scholar, leader, and true global citizen. After graduating from Pennsbury High School, Dr. Hitchner went on to earn his bachelor's degree in history from Penn State, his master's from the University of Chicago, and his PhD from the University of Michigan. His career has been a remarkable journey through education, archaeology, and international diplomacy. As Director of International Programs at the University of Dayton, he helped expand opportunities for students around the world. Later, as Editor-in-Chief of the American Journal of Archaeology, he shaped the direction of research in his field.
Dr. Hitchner also founded the Dayton Peace Accords Project, a United Nations registered nonprofit devoted to advancing peace and stability in Bosnia-Herzegovina. His voice has been sought by organizations such as the Wilson Center, the U.S. Institute of Peace, and the Wall Street Journal for his insights on the Balkans and global affairs. Beyond his work in policy, he has led 4 major Roman archaeological projects in Tunisia and France, unearthing history while shaping our understanding of the ancient world. He even served as a commissioner for the New England Associations of Schools and Colleges, helping uphold the highest standards of education. Dr. Hitchner's life's work reflects a deep commitment to knowledge, peace, and service, values that began right here in the class of 1969. It is our honor to introduce Dr. R. Bruce Hitchner to the Pennsbury High School Hall of Fame.
Hello, everybody. It's very nice to be here. Very nice to be here. It's a great pleasure to be back at Pennsbury, a school that really played a profound role in shaping the person I became. Let me begin by saying some things that won't be surprising to you. I'm here in part because of the teachers who inspired me, in me, a passion for learning and a belief in the importance of being engaged in the world. Mr. Leberger, Mrs. Shear at Medill Bear, Mrs. Houlihan and Mr. Mecklenburger in the high school, to name just a few. I'm also here because of the friends I made in school, many of whom helped shape my values, and some of whom I remain close to this day. And finally, and most importantly, it is here that I met my wife, Becky, right here in the front. We've been together for 50. We've been together for 52 years, married, and 57 all total since we met in 1968, and whose love and companionship and counsel and the mother of our 3 really amazing children has enriched my life beyond measure. We had fun here, frankly, not of all of which I can recount today. And some mundane things carried over from our school days. A preference for the color orange and black. A memory of our class of 1969, which we thought to be pretty special. And things like sports night and homecoming. And I gave my first campaign speech here in this room when I ran for president and lost miserably to the far more popular Tom Painter. But now perhaps a few brief remarks about my life beyond Pennsbury that I'd like to share. Your high school experience should be a floor, not a ceiling in your life. What do I mean? There will be so many ways in the many years after you graduate from this high school to make a difference in your life to those of your family and to those to others and to your community, even if they don't seem immediately obvious at the time. I never imagined, for example, when I became Director of International Programs at Dayton, that a peace agreement ending a war in Europe would be negotiated at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, just at the moment I took the new position. It was my wife, Becky, who turned to me and said, "You should use your new opportunity to make a difference in building peace in Bosnia." My first reaction was, I'm just a college professor and an archaeologist. What difference could I make? But the longer I contemplated it, the more I realized that it was possible to have an impact. And little by little, it happened. And here is my second point. Think imaginatively and boldly about how you can make a difference. We could have done things like hold a local event to commemorate the Dayton Peace Agreement. But from the very beginning, the question we asked is how could we do something that could not only end a war, but promote peace in a country thousands of miles from Dayton? So we began organizing the whole community of Dayton, schools, businesses, hospitals, the city, universities, to help implement peace and rebuild Bosnia. But most importantly, we thought it essential to bring back the combatants and peacemakers each year to talk about the Dayton Peace Agreement and make it a lasting reality. Finally, remember that one thing nourishes another. I did not stop being a professor of history or archaeologist. Rather, I took the lessons I learned from work on peace building and applied them to my role as a teacher, a researcher, and a writer. And being a history professor also taught me significantly to know and to leave history behind. Too many people, as you know, in this world today, are so trapped in history that they can't see what the future needs to be. So, I close by saying that Pennsbury was the seedbed, is the seedbed for your future life. Take every advantage of your time in school to exploit what it offers you, to grow your future. I know it's easy for me to say this, but believe me, I look back on my time here, and I can only say this, it did lay the groundwork for a meaningful life. Good luck, and I wish you a truly successful future beyond Pennsbury. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next student speakers are Dahlia Vin Orkuro and Paige McElroy, who will be introducing Sean Greavy.
It is my pleasure to introduce Sean Greavy, the dynamic CEO and owner of 43 Oak, a leading New York City media buying and planning agency. In addition to his business success, he is the founder of the Educational Development and Mentorship through the sport of ice hockey. Through this foundation, he's helped underprivileged athletes. By his work even earned a 5-year grant from UBS Wealth Management and the New York Islanders. Before his business ventures, Mr. Greavy played professional hockey in the MHL and NJ Pro League, proving that his drive for excellence started long before his time in the boardroom.
Have been featured in Forbes, Business Insider, Yahoo Finance, Suburban Life Magazine, US. He's also appeared on television across major networks, from NHL Tonight, NBC Philly Live, to 6ABC, CBS New York, and Fox 5 New York, where he's shared his story of entrepreneurship and philanthropy. In 2025, he was honored as the Marketing Maverick Under 40 Award recipient by the NJ Ad Club, a testament to his innovation. Mr. Greavy exemplifies what it means to combine passion with purpose, on the ice, in business, and in service to others. It is our honor to introduce Sean Greavy, class of Fame.
Thank you. Wow. Awesome. Just open this up if you don't mind. Hello, Pennsbury High School. My name is Sean Greavy. I am a graduate of the 2007 class. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, it's moments like this that feel very full circle. You stand in the hallway and you see the kids walking through the hallways and it's like you never left, right? The nostalgia of it all is overwhelming. I want to say a quick congrats to my fellow Pennsbury graduates who are also here being honored. It's a very special honor. I've had a few already early in life. This is definitely, for me personally, the most monumental. I think it's important when understanding where somebody's been to understand how they got there. For me, as a kid growing up, I grew up in North Philadelphia, in the East Oak Lane section of Philadelphia. If you know Philly, I grew up off 66th and Broad. It's a tough neighborhood. And I was fortunate enough, this may sound weird, but I was fortunate enough that my parents were actually not together. And my mother, she did everything she could to try and put me in a better neighborhood for the other half of the week that I was with her. And after living in 14 different places before the age of 18 years old, between Atlantic City, Philadelphia, Bucks County, etc., parts of New York, I ended up here at Pennsbury to finalize, my high school career. But Pennsbury is a really unique place. It's funny because people ask me all the time now, oh, where'd you go to college? And listen, college is definitely the end destination. It's where you should try to be. For me, it didn't happen. But I am not the example when it comes to that, and I'll get to that later with the kids that I teach now. I stress the importance of college. But it's funny because I say, well, I didn't graduate college. However, I did graduate Pennsbury High School. And I'm very proud of that because what I learned here at Pennsbury High School, I take with me now today, every single day. What I love most about this school is that no matter who you are, no matter what group of people you're with, no matter what clique it is, you will find your group of people at this school. And as you get older in life, you will realize that there are all different types of groups of people that are out there, and we need to learn to assimilate with all of those groups of people. And had I not gone to a school like Pennsbury, I don't know that I would have learned to assimilate the way that I did, which in turn, I don't know that I would have had the success in life that I've had. So I'm grateful for that. Early in life, I played hockey my whole life. I played hockey here at Pennsbury. Before Pennsbury, I was at Notre Dame. I spent my last 2 years here, and I finished out on the senior varsity team, which was a lot of fun. And at that time that I was here in school, I was already working in my industry in advertising, which is what I do now. And it was pretty cool to do both, but I kind of knew that hockey eventually would end after 9 concussions in the sport, 5 lost teeth, a paralyzed face, a cut Achilles tendon, 2 broken left hands, and a couple other injuries. I knew that hockey was going to end for sure. At 5'10", it wasn't going to work out for me. But I loved it, but I knew where I was going, and I knew advertising was where I needed to be. That's where my focus really became. So I moved to New York City when I was 19 years old. Moved to Manhattan, lived in Lower Manhattan, sacrificed a lot. I had a job at the time making, 6 figures at 20, and I moved to New York and made $22,000 that first year, and I lived in somebody's attic with no heat and no air conditioning. But I knew what I had to do because I knew I wanted to be in New York. That's where I needed to be. And thank God I did that. Look, throughout life, you're going to go through highs and lows. You're going to experience them in high school. You're going to experience them in college. You're going to experience them in business. You're going to experience them personally with friends and family. Just the way life is. You have to accept it, be ready for it. But for me, that was a low that turned into a high. I ended up working for Elvis Duran in the morning, which here in Philadelphia, it was Z100 in New York, here in Philadelphia is Q102. And at that time, I was selling celebrity brand endorsements, representing Elvis Duran directly, working with the likes of Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, etc., and big brands like Coca-Cola, putting a Coke in Ariana's hand and saying that Elvis made it happen. So it was a really interesting, and I was the guy behind the scenes, but it was fun to watch your work, come to life. But what I realized is, that also wasn't going to be forever for me. And at one point, unfortunately, like I said, I was also playing hockey at the same time. I played a little bit of minor pro, and I paralyzed the right side of my face playing hockey. And for an entire year, I couldn't talk, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink in front of people, and my entire business had become shattered because everything I had known was to do all of those things. My business was based off relationships and being out at dinners. So what was I to do? I couldn't have a conversation. I had lost all self-confidence. And so I decided, what better time than to quit my job in corporate and start my own business? I have no idea where I came up with that idea, but I did it. At the same exact time, I started my nonprofit, which is called the 43 Oak Foundation, and my business is 43 Oak. The reason I named it the 43 Oak Foundation, a lot of people ask that, is because the 43 Oak Foundation was funded by 43 Oak for the first 2 years. So every penny that I made, I didn't have a family at the time. I have a daughter now, but everything I made, I put directly into my nonprofit. My nonprofit is aside from my 5-year-old daughter, the most important part of my life. We can all make money. We can all do really great in life. We can all be huge successes and talk about all the incredible things that we've accomplished. And it's great to accomplish things, and it's great to have the things that you want to have in life, what you set out for. But for me, my real gratitude comes from working with the young athletes that we represent. So my nonprofit, the 43 Oak Foundation, is a 501c3. We are partners with the New York Islanders and UBS Wealth Management. We did sign into a 5-year agreement, including a $1 million grant, but also their assistance in everything that we do, from mentorship programs for the kids to featuring us during every single Islanders game. If you go to a New York Islanders game, you will see us on the big screen, which is pretty cool. But what we do really is we do three things for our diverse and underprivileged minority hockey youth athletes. We provide mentorship for our players because a lot of these kids do not know how to navigate the space of ice hockey. It is unfamiliar to them and it is unfamiliar to their parents. And if you're not familiar with the sport, it's very difficult to navigate and become a success in. Hockey is a very elitist sport. I experienced that myself. So being able to give that to these kids and help guide them was crucial. The second part is education and connections within the sport. And the third part is financial assistance. So one player could cost us up to $20,000 a year. When I signed on with the Islanders, I had 7 players that I was personally supporting financially. I was eating about 60% of my income. We took that grant and we went from 7 players to over 200 families nationwide. And that's where we stand today. And my executive director, Sky Silverstein, who's actually here, is a graduate of the program and now running the nonprofit himself. So he is a true success story as a result of what we do and why we do it. It's important to give back. It's actually everything. Without that, I think I would be lost. I mean, thank God for my daughter. But other than that, I think I would be lost if I didn't have my nonprofit work. So, just my advice is to never quit. As cliche as it may sound, you have to keep pushing. You can't allow, look, 1,000 times people told me that I wasn't going to be able to do it. More than 1,000 times I've heard that I couldn't do it. I can't do it. Don't do it. You're crazy. Your face is paralyzed. What are you doing quitting your job that you make X amount of dollars at? You had this perfect life. Why would you leave it? What are you doing? Are you nuts? You're nuts. No, I'm not nuts. I know what I'm doing. I'm focused on my goals. I'm going to see it through. If I fail, I fail. Trust me, I failed. I've been homeless. I've had nothing. Cars out for repossession. 500 credit score. That's not my situation today. Thank God. Knock on wood. Because as we all know, in life, that can change like that. So we have to be grateful for these moments that we have like today. I will cherish this moment. I will remember this moment because I remember being at this school and being a little bit lost and having a support system of students and also teachers like Reggie Meadows to my left here who believed in me when a lot of people didn't. I was a pain. But I was a pain. But you know what? It was out of love. And this gentleman here, he showed a lot of love back, and he made me believe that it was okay and that I was okay. And I don't know if I didn't have that, that it would have turned out the same. I believe wholeheartedly that I graduated because of Mr. Meadows. So I thank you for that. And I thank you for having me here today. Today it's a very different situation. My advertising agency represents brands such as the likes as Pond Lee Hockey, which I'm sure we've all seen here in Philadelphia, and major brands in New York City across all the way to Los Angeles. We're a national agency. I represent celebrities. I represent famous athletes in the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, in their brand negotiations and endorsements. It's really special work. But it's full circle. And to be standing here now owning a home in Yardley, splitting my time between Wall Street and Yardley, I'm grateful to be back home. I love being here. I love Pennsbury. I love this area. I'm so proud to be from here. But just remember to always have a purpose. For me, that's obviously, like I said, my foundation and my 5-year-old little girl. She's my whole world. She's on a hockey team now. She plays for the Princeton Tiger Lilies. And it's incredible. We skate together 3 times a week, just her and I on the ice over there at Grundy. And the best the best moments in my life are those moments. So just remember that support systems are everything, the people around you, the people that believe in you. Find those people. The advice that I give younger people all the time, I try to be relatable as much as I possibly can. I think about what I wanted to hear when I was 18. If I was sitting in this room, I'd be picking up bits and pieces. You know, for me, it's finding the people who believe in you, not the people who don't. I tell my daughter all the time, sorry, I know I'm running a little bit late here. I tell my daughter all the time, she comes home from school, Daddy, this girl told me that I have a tiny head. So you have a tiny head. You're 5 years old, of course you have a tiny head. I said, listen, Briar, her name's Briar. I said, Briar, listen, do me a favor. Next time you go to school tomorrow, you don't need to say anything to that girl. You don't need to say anything at all. If she doesn't want to be a friend, she doesn't have to be a friend. If she wants to be a friend one day, then you make that decision. Go find the kids in the room who don't tell you have a tiny head. Go find the kids in the room that want to hang out with you. Spend time with the people who want to spend time with you. Don't waste time on people who don't want to spend time with you, people who don't want you in your life. If they're not showing you the love, don't show the love back. It's okay. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's just, let's find the people who lift us up. Pennsbury is lifting us up. This group of people who are now being put into the Hall of Fame, it's special. We will live with this forever. And thank you for lifting us up. I'm grateful for life. This year I lost a friend. I'm sure we all heard about it. His name was Johnny Hockey, Johnny Goudreau. He's a top 10 player in the NHL. Johnny and his little brother were riding bicycles, and unfortunately they were hit by a drunk driver. They lost their lives immediately with 2 babies on the way. I know that's a little depressing, but I like to remember Johnny because he was a great guy and he did a lot of work to help us grow our foundation. And I like to remember him because I think it's important to have gratitude for every day. And that was a tough one. And we try to be there for Johnny. We try to live through him, and we try to have that outlook in life that we're here today. So we got to enjoy this moment today. We need to be humble. Humility is everything. As I just said, I lost everything 1,000 times over. I'm certainly not going to stand in front of you and act like I'm any better than anybody else in this room, because I'm not. We all come from the same place. We're all from Bucks County. We all bleed the same blood. We're all the same person. And I'm grateful to stand here with you. So thank you again, Pennsbury. You're helping to build a legacy that I can look back and show my daughter. And that's what matters most to me. I appreciate everybody. I hope it didn't run too long, but thank you so much for having me. It's a really special moment. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And can I please get a round of And finally, our distinguished guest, the class of 2025 Hall of Fame. This concludes our bell. Thank you all for attending. Have a wonderful day. This has been great. Thank you.